We're doing alright. Alright, so I've got two goals today. One is get that top bit of the dashboard sorted and 100% secured down, and the second thing is there's some loose wires in here that I want to get all wrapped up and looking nice. And possibly, if I can, I'll get the indicators left and right attached, but that's the stretch goal. What we did yesterday with Sean is good structurally. So if you look down here, this bolt is holding everything in. It moves around a little bit, but it's located. The only thing is we need to now that it's in, we need to make sure it doesn't go up and down as much. So I'm going to tighten that bolt down a little bit, and then it can move a little bit side to side as well. And that is going to be, you can't see it at all, it's going to be a bolt here and a bolt here that locate it. Lots of things I've got to install at some point on the car. This is the first thing. I'm just going to put some cable wrap around the cables, which means I need to finalize the cables, which should be quite quick. And I'm also going to get a tape measure so I can measure up the dashboard dimensions, and then hopefully I can use this piece of wood to perform them. I might find something thinner, but this is what I've got for now. So we should be finalising these wires, and the best way to get to them is to take this bonnet off, which is just held on by zip ties right now. So I'll do that very quickly, and then hopefully I can install the bonnet properly again. Most of this mess is absolutely fine and could be sorted out, but this pink cable, this has to go to here. As you can see, it's too short. There's too much pressure from the rest of this stuff. So need to add some length to this pink cable, which means pretty much undoing all of them. So I will start the wrapping from this side and then go down instead of starting here. Apart from that, and oh, this cable's come loose. That's not good. That might need redoing. That's going to be the speedo cable, unless it was unplugged at some point. Oh, and the oil pressure. Okay, all of these need a bit more slack, I think. And yeah, I need to check that none of these have been damaged while they've been pulled loose. Definitely add some more slack to all of them. So I've added just some slack to all of this, so if anything gets pulled tight here, you know that this is going to be fine. These have all been redone, done. So this will all be condensed up here, and then in here I'm just going to hide it as much as I can under there. And all of this stuff will hopefully just condense down into there. That's the plan. So this is it. This is probably as far as I'm going to go today. That looks neater, and then still leaves me some leeway for if I need to jiggle stuff around later. I think that's good. Time to move on to job number 2. Alright, so I've got to take the inside of this hole out, and then I can weld this nut over here into it. There we go. So there's the bolt fully installed, and then that bolt there is what I need to weld on. I'm not quite sure how I'm going to get to it, but I'll do my best. Once again, just not a very pretty weld, but if I poke at it, see that bolt's not going anywhere when I poke at it, so it's good enough to be functional. No one's ever going to see it. That's fine. Okay, so this is it installed with just 2 bolts. So in the middle, that's a lot more stable. In this corner, a lot more stable. And then this is the corner that's not attached. You can see how much more that flexes compared to out there. It's never going to be perfect. I think having a dashboard mounted against it will add some rigidity to it. But that doesn't touch at all, this bit moves. So now I just need to line up this bit. I might as well install this now while I'm doing it. Screw what I said earlier. Get this bit in, and then it's just dashboard left. That one is in. So now, in theory, we have 3 threaded rods, and this can be mounted. Great. So that is 1, 2, 3 bolts installed, and look at this. It moves a little bit, but that is, I would say, relatively rock solid. So that means the next focus is now this middle bit, the actual dashboard, which is the important part. So I don't think the first iteration is going to be the last, but there we have. Okay, I'm going to have to put the phone down to do these measurements. Okay, so for the dashboard, I'm going to use the old dashboard as a template to make a template out of this cardboard to then cut it out of this wood. before I install this, I just wrote down the curve of this so I can use it as a template, but it seems straight enough that I can just eyeball it, I think. So that'll be fun. So now what I have to do is figure out how I'm going to attach the dashboard fascia. So I'm thinking some sort of hinge here and here. This is where the old dashboard was. So whenever I need to adjust something, I can just flip it down, adjust the wires, flip it back up. Starting with the steering column, it's hard to see, but there's like this rubber bit here, and then the rest seems glued to the rubber bit. So I'm going to try first just cutting the this glue stuff off and see what happens there. So this is just 2 bolts like this that go on there, and they go around the column. So this should be quite simple to install. Everything seems to be working more or less in that, so I can be quite happy with that. And I can probably turn on the auto return for this now, which is something I didn't have before. So that's quite exciting. And yeah, it seems quite secure in there. I'm quite happy. Last thing to do, I'm going to paint some of the rust, and then I'm not going to do the bonnet today, I'll do that a different day. So every bit of rust I can see on the front of the car, so these bits here, these pinholes here, and then all the stuff at the front that I gouged out earlier, I'm going to try and get rid of with some CU rust. There we go. Hopefully that solves the problem. We'll let that dry for a bit and we'll see how it goes. It's hard to tell because my mum parks so close, but I don't think that looks as bad as it did rust-wise. It's definitely turned it all black. I have to come back and move this car first. It seems very clear here that this side is not waterproof. That's definitely water getting in, and getting in quite easily. And also, on this side it seems like it's getting in, although not as much. It's annoying. So this is going to be a piece of wood for the temporary dashboard, and then I've got the old dashboard so I can take some measurements and transfer them across. It's too thick, too big, slow quality wood, but this is just temporary. So this red marking is a rough trace of what this dashboard looks like, and I've got a PDF of what a dashboard should look like dimensionally, and I'm going to compare the two now. So this way should be 116, which is absolutely right if you look there. Then this way you're seeing 26, and we should be seeing 16 according to measurements. So I'm going to cut it out this way and then maybe trim it down if it doesn't fit. So there's the piece of wood roughly cut out. I'm just going to test fit that quickly in the Mini just to make sure the dimensions are roughly correct. Okay, so wideness looks about right, but yeah, that is a few centimeters too high. So I think I'm gonna have to, let's have a pen in here, go get a pen and mark off roughly where I'm going to need to cut it. This red line here is the new one I'm going to do, which is quite a significant amount I'm cutting off, but it should be fine according to my measurements. So there, and just about there. So yeah, just need to work out the curve of this corner bit now. But yeah, that lines up just about right there. And this corner needs to go down and trim. This corner needs to go down and trim. But that seems like a job for tomorrow. I'm in the office today.
That was so impressive.
I have this piece of cardboard, which I'm going to use as a template for this piece of wood. I'm going to cut the cardboard out to match the Mini dashboard. So this piece of cardboard should be a rough approximation. I'm just going to try and fit this in the car and just cut away the corners where it needs cutting. So I've only done the template on one side and I'm just going to mirror it. But the curve needs to look something like that and then slowly rise up. I'm going to smooth out this bumpiness here. But yeah, that's roughly it. And I haven't done it on this side. From what I can tell, this board needs to be about a thumb and a finger longer, but that will be in the final version, I think. Cutting out the red bit, that should be the entire dimensions for it done. It's a little bit less curved on this side than this side. Doesn't matter too much. That's more or less the right size. Continue with this on another day. That paint has made a world of difference to the front of the Mini. I think just a little bit more and it won't look that rusty at all anymore. So that's good. And this car still looks like shit. Would have been... Looks like it's got a cap on it.
Cap on there, probably make it just good. So that's why. So he's done a lot of it. One, it's just the roof. You need to look at that. It's not expensive.
DIY job? No.
If you want to experiment, what I will say is,
Yeah.
but yeah, a lot of it's been fixed anyway, so it's kind of.
Yes, we're bringing it.
It's a lot higher seems to be.
Oh, he's in.
That's the house there, and then I guess you get all of this. You get this little platform here, and you get this great view, which is such a shame that you don't have windows on the other side of this bit in the middle here. You don't have a window on the other side, because you would get this great view from inside. But yeah, that's a good view of Bristol. Solid. That being said, just that short walk up there, I am a little bit winded. Might be the clincher. They've got these hiding in here. These aren't on the property, these are on the neighbour's property. But a neighbour that has some of those, absolutely a neighbour I want to have. What a shame that there's no windscreen in that one. Wow. Seam.
I don't know, something's been done there.
Okay.
The machine down there,
Yep.
all the way perpendicular.
Yep.
So,
Oh yeah, and then
Something's
there's a
done
seam here. Yeah, got you.
yeah, a lot of stuff has been.
Go to B&Q because it was raining too much to work on the Mini, and as soon as I'm in the car it stopped raining. But I'm committed now, so let's get it. So £17, 9mm, 61 by 180. So if I cut that into 3, I get 3 attempts at making a dashboard out of this. And I've got some random fasteners that I think will help me put it in. On our piece of 9mm board, the red is our new template, so I'll just cut that out. Was so much quicker. It kind of makes me wonder why I wasn't using that from the start. But hey, test fit this and then I can start laying out where I want dials to go. So it was a little bit big. My guess is it needs to be about that much smaller, so I'll just give that a go. Alright, so that looks to line up in both corners. It will never properly line up in that corner because we've got the ignition barrel there. So the next thing I think is to cut out a hole for the ignition barrel. These are the measurements I got. It was just going around the outside, so I'll go and get a hole saw. Hopefully I can find something that roughly matches that kind of shape. This is my hole saw set. I've never used it, it's brand new to me, so I have to work out how it all works. What does this do? Well, clearly it's a bottle opener. Why do I need a bottle opener? Cut the hole out, you can see it's made a gouge out of it, and this was meant to be the front face. So good thing I got 2 of these boards, or 3 of these boards I guess, so I can make a second attempt at this. Okay, well that works. Maybe too well. That is too big of a hole for it, so I know in version 2, definitely make a smaller hole. And this, yeah, this all fits perfectly in the corners and corners. This bit here overlaps, so sand that down a bit. Definitely working to a level of, good enough. But yeah, that seems to fit pretty well. Could do a little bit more in this corner. But yeah, I'm happy to leave it like this for today.
You know lockdown. Some weird ladies. I mean,
On the foot.